Hey YouTube, so today guys we do have some pretty cool news here. It seems to have some pretty positive news to report regarding Miitomo. Obviously this is Nintendo's first official mobile application for iOS and Android. It recently has been released in Japan. It hasn't made it to the United States or Europe yet, but it has indeed came out in Japan. Let me just make a disclaimer. I know there's been a couple other Nintendo apps that has made it to the iOS and Android platforms, but technically the Pokemon Company has their own policies. Obviously, there's been a couple Pokemon applications. That's from the Pokemon Corporation. Nintendo doesn't really. It's a really complicated relationship. Overall, this is the first official application from Nintendo directly. Obviously, you have subsidiaries, developing apps like the Pokemon Company, but technically, Nintendo does not consider that to be really a Nintendo application. So it's kind of complicated, but it's really irrelevant when you think about it. Overall, this is the first ever application from Nintendo directly to be released on the iOS and Android store. And so far, it has done pretty well. For now, I believe this is just the iOS store. I don't know if this is including Android. I do believe this is just iOS. Yes, this is indeed just iOS. Currently, right now, it's number 2 overall on the Japanese App Store on iOS. That's pretty significant. This includes all of Japan and all of Asia. It recently surpassed Line. Line's a messaging service. It's very similar to WhatsApp, GroupMe, Facebook Messenger. It's very similar to that, and that's what they have in Asia. So it's pretty cool to see Miitomo doing very well. As you see down here, Nintendo has not revealed the official details, but obviously iOS has these charts that tell you the top apps for the week of the month. And if Miitomo is all the way up there, you kind of understand how it's doing. Technically, we don't have exact numbers on how it's doing, but the fact that it's number 2 on the list, it definitely suggests to us that the application is doing well. I'm a little surprised. Remember, the demographics in Japan, what they prefer is very different to what they prefer. I definitely predicted that this would do better in Japan, but I really don't think it would do that well in the United States. There's so many competitions from the applications I mentioned before: Facebook Messenger, GroupMe, WhatsApp. You do have Line. You also have text messaging. Overall, I do not expect it to do as well in the West as it does in Japan, but overall, it remains to be seen how exactly it's going to do. I'm not an analyst. I'm not Nintendo. I'm not telling you the facts. I'm telling you what I think. But overall, I can't wait to see how this app does in the future, man. I'm not really interested in this, but I do hope that Nintendo does well with this, because I do want them to further invest in the platform. So them doing well on this will hopefully promote them to bring other projects and maybe something that's a little bit more interesting, a little bit more what I want, like a full-fledged game or maybe an emulator. I don't exactly know, but overall, this is a good step. Even if it's not exactly what I wanted from Nintendo, it's still a good step if it's doing well.